Great good morning, everyone. It is a beautiful Friday, July 17, year of our Lord, 2026. It's 9:09 a.m. on my Cordaro Jewelers watch. This is the Bob Cordaro Show. I am he, and we are broadcasting today from the United States of America, the place where we've got to preserve our election integrity. But it's also the place where the brave, like the veterans we salute today, thanks to John Basiliga and his great Basiliga Hospitality Group, they have made us and kept us free. We lost them this year, but salute them this day, thanks to John, like Mike Makowski, Pringle, Edward Maddox, Dunmore, Walter Gambita, Simpson, Ronald Zeladonis, Hanover Township, and Paul King, Dixon City. The United States of America, founded with a certain knowledge and understanding by our amazing, irreplaceable, and profoundly wise founding fathers who knew that government should not be and set about to make sure it would not be our parent, our guide, our direction, our salvation. Not any of these things. Because government power always means less freedom, less liberty, and less choice for Americans. The United States of America, the country where for the first time in human history, freedom was declared by law to be an unalienable right granted to each individual by God. Freedom couldn't be parceled out to groups. It couldn't be controlled by government or government officials because our great American Constitution ensures and codifies freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of association, economic freedom, and freedom of the press. Now, because they were armed with these freedoms, and only because of that fact, these Americans, a ragtag bunch of immigrants, many of them from rejects from around the world, they and their progeny created the richest, most powerful, most culturally diverse and accepting nation ever to grace our planet Earth. What was the common core? Freedom. America, the only place specifically invented and designed so that every American can live their life in the manner they choose, unlimited by their background, upbringing, race, color, or creed, unhindered by the government or those who would use government to control others for their own comfort, benefit, or power. This Bob Cordaro Show, it'll always be convincingly conservative, lovingly logical, proudly and passionately patriotic, and reliably right. And so we gavel to order today's meeting of the Club for Common Sense, promising you that our total, immersive, immovable commitment to common sense will provide a sanctuary of sanity to all of you who hearken here for the balance of this singular, extraordinary morning. A gentle warning, this is not a safe harbor for stupidity. Such nonsense will be roundly and, dare I say, harshly attacked throughout the program. We will not suffer fools gladly, and their foolishness and ignorance, willful or otherwise, will be called out with intent, purpose, and vigor. Designed, and in today's age, sadly necessary, to save our great republic from evil, senselessness, and weakness, which can, even now, bring down this noble and amazingly successful experiment. Well, here we are. The newspaper publishing, let's see, did they do it? On one of them, the Scranton Times, Cognetti outraises Bresnahan again. Now, here's the point. If you want something from government, give money to Cognetti. And by the way, that doesn't count the dark money. That doesn't count the dark money. Well, if I'm looking to give money and I want something, who do I go to? Paige Cognetti. I mean, the officials from Fidelity Bank gave her $15,000. She gave them $2 million. That's a hell of a return. Oh, it's corrupt as hell, and it's the exact opposite of everything she says she is. But why do you think the money's flowing to Paige Cognetti? Rob Bresnahan, you get good government. Paige Cognetti, you get access. I had James Carville when he was on the Casey, the senior Bob Casey governor campaign. And what was it, 1985? 86. And he says to me, well, it was me and myself and Bob Casey Jr. We're sitting in their little headquarters off of, I think, Chestnut or Walnut Street. And Carville says, you give the governor, he's telling how he's telling the governor, you got to get on, meaning Casey. He's telling Casey, you got to get on that phone. You got to be on that phone all day. And he says, and we tell him, you know, you give $1,000, you get good government. You give $10,000, you get access. That was James Carville. Well, you give money to Rob Bresnahan, you get good government. You give money to Paige Cognetti, you get access. And maybe, if you're lucky and well-positioned, in part of her old boy network, you get $2 million for a building you don't know what the hell to do with. And then she doesn't know what to do with it, but hell, she's got the taxpayers' money. And she's got to reward her donors. Yeah, that's what we got here. Unbelievable. It is unbelievable. And I want you to notice this. I tell you this all the time, but you'll watch it over and over again. What do you get with the left-wingers and today's Democrat Party? You get the exact opposite of what they say, and then they do the exact opposite of what they say. And if they're accusing someone else of something, like Paige with her anti-corruption meeting when she had a felon standing next to her who had stolen, $50,000, $60,000 from Wyoming area. That was who's standing next to her when she's announcing her anti-corruption. So she's a coma victim on top of everything. That's what I'm saying. She's incompetent. Her agenda drives her, not competence. And so she's got someone who stole 60 grand or whatever from Wyoming area standing next to her while she's announcing anti-corruption, claiming Bresnahan has problems when she bought a $2 million building that the city doesn't need. And in fact, she's already announced they have to rent it out in return for $15,000 in contributions. It's unbelievable. It's truly insane. And it just keeps going. Bob LTS, Paige Cognetti on the campaign trail talking about winning the next election. And the real issue, the price of a gallon of gasoline. and she supported Joe Biden, who drove gas prices up to $5 for no reason, except for the Green New Scam. And if the Democrats take charge like Paige Cognetti, you'll be paying $10 a gallon because they don't want you to drive cars. They don't want you to have freedom. They can control you in an electric car. They cannot control you in a gas-powered car because you just go. It's insanity. It truly is crazy. All right, so we played a little bit of Trump. I mean, those are frightening disclosures. I don't see the point of the is it anything we didn't know? That's what I want to know. And I said this yesterday. Was it anything that you were, in deference to our open, thunderstruck to hear? It's scary, but it's not anything we didn't already know. The Chinese and other countries and our system is incredibly vulnerable, and foreign interests are using the system. Foreign interests, including the Democrat Party, by the way, they're using the current system to cheat. And we know that. Crazy stuff. And, I don't know. Somebody says, don't Republicans actively take endorsements from a felon? Sounds worse than standing next to one for a photo op. You may think that's a touche since I'm a felon, but I'm not giving endorsements here. I'm calling balls and strikes, number one. So that's number one. So, see, you're incapable of listening because you're a troll. That's number one. You hear sounds, but it's like Charlie Brown's kids. For these dummycrats who support people like Paige Cognetti and Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, it's like Charlie Brown when we're telling them the facts and the truth and here's reality. They just hear, how they hear the parents, you go, wah, 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 wah. That's all they hear. So, no, I haven't endorsed. I don't do endorsements. I call balls and strikes, and I hope, unlike you, the majority of the audience gets it. Now, you don't know. This is incompetence. It's not the end of the world. She's standing next to a felon. This may be the nicest person in the world. But she's standing next to someone who stole money from Wyoming area teachers when she's announcing anti-corruption. It was just like her standing next to gangbangers with her child, by the way, cutting ribbons for a front for drug dealers when she's supposed to be in charge of the Scranton police. It's blatant, insane incompetence, which you're not from Scranton, apparently. You don't have to live through every day. I heard Jessica Rothschild, whose only competence is that she's a lesbian. And I'm like, okay, how does that make you competent to be a council member? Well, she was one of the three blind mice who last minute approved the Fidelity Bank deal, where we paid $2 million for a building we didn't need in return for campaign contributions for Paige. And Jessica was all in. All in. We're going to play a quote from her. We'll play it after the break. Fathers aren't necessary. They're insane. Absolutely insane. Bob LTS. Paige Cognetti has a secret $2 a gallon gasoline plan. Her clean energy. Voters beware. Unbelievable. So it's just crazy. I'm telling you. And these people, they don't listen. All they hear is wah, wah, wah when you tell them fact, truth, and they're trying to avoid reality. And my bigger question is why? How does that benefit you? Now, if you're feeding at the trough, tell me you are. Hey, I'm getting this out of it. Because you ain't getting a better country. You ain't getting a better community. You're getting nothing. You're getting hurt. Your family's getting hurt by Democrat policies. Name me one. And by the way, I go on this same point. Oh, the Democrat Party's split. No, they're just people that want fighting for power. One are openly communist, one group, and the other pretends they're not communist. That's the two groups. Name one policy difference between Paige Cognetti trying to pretend she's normal, which she ain't, and Mamdani. By the way, she's got the same donors, the Soros family. She's got the same advisors, the people who advised Mamdani's campaign and ran it, and the people who ran Graham Plattner's campaign. That's her. That's who she is. Everything else is just a lie. Unbelievable. All right, I went over, and but it deserved it. Let's take a break. We got to hear from our great sponsors because they make it all happen. Let's hear from them. We got a little history, a little music, and then you. It's the Bob Cordaro Show. I want you to think about Democrat voters. Now, I ran out of paper towels, and I'm pouring the honey from my mulberry bush honey, and I'm at the bottom, so the jar is upside down. So I get a little bit on me, and I'm like, well, I got to wipe it on my pants, which is fine because they're going in the wash. I'm working out, exercising after the show. And so I just thought about it. I said, and the Democrats are voting for someone who says this chevalier or whatever running for U.S. Congress who says she wiped her dirty hands on the American flag. And they voted for her. You see how far they are going? This is how lost and communist the Democrat Party has become. And they're having this thing over Graham Plattner up in Maine. Oh, they're only letting 600 people choose, who his replacement will be. It's not democratic. And I hear people on the Republican side of the fence saying, oh, yeah, and it is what they always do. So what? But do you think they're going to do any better with the idiot Democrat voters who voted for Plattner by 70% against an incumbent governor, by the way, incumbent Democrat governor? He wasn't running against nobody. These Democrat voters are lost, desperate, and insane. These are your fellow Americans. This is who they're voting for. They voted Paige Cognetti 2-1. She couldn't pave a street. And then when she eventually paved the street after ripping it up 9 times, right in front of my eyes, she covered the crosswalks that had been freshly painted before the mayor's election. This is insanity. Whew. I'm just... Bob, will Cognetti and Rob Bresnan have a debate? Yeah, I'm sure they will, because she needs to be called out. I really cannot stand her ads that depict Mr. Bresnahan in a poor light. She's a horrible woman and a liar. People are not hearing the facts. I wish Bresnahan would have a TV spot to explain her lies. Wake up, people. LTS, says the old gal from Mountaintop. I couldn't have said it any better, old gal. By the way, somebody said they were, one of the trolls says, I wasn't talking about you endorsing anybody. I was talking about Trump, the felon, endorsing somebody. Nobody wants your endorsement. What did they call me? Oh, here it is, bootleg Rush Limbaugh. That's not bad. That's not bad. Crazy stuff. It's insanity. Bulldog, play this clip. This is Jessica Rothschild, Scranton City Council. Now, this is how insane these people are. This is one of the 3 blind mice who got us the $2 million white elephant on North Washington Avenue that nobody knows how they're going to use it. Play that clip. Yeah, we don't need fathers. We don't need fathers. This is the way these idiots think. And by the way, it's worse than that. They not only think it, they express it in the open. Play tattered old flag next to this chevalier who wipes her hands on the American flag when they're greasy. This is today's Democrat Party. If you vote Democrat, you're wrong, period. There's not even because they will support the insanity no matter what. The only one speaking out, do you hear any of our local state reps, Democrat state reps, talking out about this insanity? Do you hear any of them publicly calling out their own political party? No, the only one that has the balls to do it is Fetterman, and that's because he had a stroke. And he knows he's already lost the Democrat primary anyway, because he knows how insane the Democrat voters are. Wow. How did we get here? How did the Democrat Party turn into the Communist Party? A party of freaks and haters. It's insane. And by the way, it is not good. You know, if you say to yourself, well, oh, this is great, the Republicans. Well, the Republicans aren't that great. They are the far lesser of two evils. That's all you can say. And by the way, it's worth the effort to go vote for the far lesser of two evils because they're the far less of two evils. They're not great by any means. How did we get here? I don't know. 9:34 on my Picardo Jewelers watch. We'll take this break. We'll come back. We got a Veterans Tribute. We've got the weather. We've got more, as they always say. It's the Bob Cordaro Show. Our Veterans Tribute on this Friday, brought to you by our man John Basiliga and his great Basiliga Hospitality Group. You can check them out on basiligahospitality.com. 3 great bar restaurants to hang out in this weekend. Watch the soccer if you're so inclined. I was telling Jason, who I call Hooper, I said, as they were leaving the studio, I said, I can watch this, but please, there better be alcohol involved so I can watch it. I can't sit through a soccer game. Just watching soccer, not happening. The Old Brook Inn, 307 Springbrook Township, the Far Street Tavern on Far Street, and the Great Trips Park section of West Scranton, and the Queen City Tavern, downtown Elephant, right on the main drag. Coming soon, Coney Island Lunch on Lackawanna Avenue, Scranton. And right next door to it, the perfect combination, Reagan's Ice Cream Shop. Mike McCoskey. He was just 70 when he passed June 26th. He was from Pringle. His girlfriend Patty and friends were with him at the Wilkes-Barre VA when he passed. Born in Toledo, Ohio. He grew up in Pringle with his brothers and sisters. He loved woodworking, masonry. And I'm going to start mentioning the animals I never did before. He absolutely loved his cat, Lucky. He loved to help his community, especially when it involved renovations and house projects. He loved fixing his Harley Davidson almost more than he loved to ride it. Mike was a U.S. Marine veteran. He remembered as a helpful character. with an unusual sense of humor that I love. Always gave unusual Christmas presents as well, unique to each neighbor. Survived by his brothers, his sister, 3 sons, his daughter, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and other family members. Mike Makovsky. Edward Maddox. June 24th, we lost him. He was 83 years old. He was from Dunmore. I knew Mr. Maddox. Surviving is his wife, the former Susan Pavick. They'd been married for 58 years. Born in Scranton, he was a graduate of the former Taylor High School. Prior to retirement, he was a plumber with Local 524. He also served us in the United States Marine Corps. Ed was a loving and supporting husband, father, and grandfather. He enjoyed long Sunday drives, meeting friends for coffee, and relaxing on his front porch on Sherwood Avenue, where I used to live. Loved his sports teams, including the Dunmore Bucks. Also surviving his son, Timothy Dunmore, his granddaughter, light of his life, Ariel. A sister, a brother, nieces, nephews, cousins, preceded in death by 9 siblings. Edward Maddox. Our great veterans this hour, brought to you by John Basiliga and his great Basiliga Hospitality Group. AccuWeather forecast today, hazy sunshine, very warm. They're giving caution. All right, I'm crossing it out right now so I don't even start reading it, okay? We know this, AccuWeather. We're not children. High 87. Tonight, couple of showers late. It'll be about 64. Tomorrow, cloudy, not as warm. Couple of showers and a thunderstorm. The storms could bring damaging winds, flooding, downpours, but they may also improve air quality. Just 77 tomorrow. That'll be a little refreshing. Low 66. Sunday, mostly sunny and less humid. Wildfire smoke can reduce air quality and cause a hazy sky on Sunday, but it should be gone. They just told us that. High 80, low 54. Monday, mostly sunny, high 83, low 63. Tuesday, shifting clouds and sun, couple of showers and a thunderstorm, humid, high 77, low 65. What does that weather report mean to me? Well, it means that it's water park week. It's Montage Water Park week, where it is always clean skies and cold water. Montage Mountain, where it's 70 degrees right now. Bill Withers. We had to go through, had to get into that when he ran out of breath. July 17, 1971, Bill Withers released his first single. I don't know if there were more. Ain't No Sunshine, Murph tells us. Bob Cordaro back with you on WILK and the eponymous program. Let's go to Joe from Berwick. Hey, Joe, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing good, Bob. I want to let you know here that your friend the Bulldog there can actually testify to something I'm going to bring to your attention this morning. It's very interesting.
Yeah,
okay?
but I try not to talk to the Bulldog. I try to ignore him all morning.
I know, but he's a material witness.
All right.
So I,
Don't
I
count on
called
him.
I called the morning show this morning because they're talking about data centers and making all their comments, and then they mentioned Josh Shapiro. So I was not going to
Oh, you mean the
be
guy who was
combative.
for data centers before he was against them? That
Yeah,
guy?
yeah.
Yeah.
So I was called, not to be combative, but I was on hold for a half an hour, and I was just going to ask a question along the lines of, hey, well, you folks have had Josh Shapiro on your show before. Why not call him on again and ask him point blank about these issues with the data center? So after waiting on hold for a half hour, it gets explained to me by the call screener that, well, they're not going to take this call, but they have actually asked Josh Shapiro about this, or tried to ask him. And I thought, well, this is what I'm calling about. I said, can they give details? Can they talk about, when he was contacted, what was the response? Anything like that. And I was told that they weren't going to address that.
Well, I was
here's
told.
what's
Now, here's something I was told. First, I heard it from listeners
Yeah.
and friends
Yeah.
that Josh Shapiro doesn't come on the morning show anymore because then it gave me and myself and Rob O'Donnell a chance to crucify him the rest of the day, and he figured it was a net loss. That's what I was told, and it was confirmed by someone in Harrisburg. So, I don't know that it's true. It's what I heard.
Well, it's interesting because here's what it has to do with the current state of our politics and our upcoming governor's race. Okay. Stacey Garrity is probably the brightest light we've had running for governor in like the past 3 cycles. We've had some real disasters, okay? Now, she is a very bright person, and she is in a great position to actually call out the empty suit, Josh Shapiro, if she wanted to do so and if her advisors were telling her to do so, okay? But it's just interesting because this point this morning, it just brings it out so perfectly. You hear.
By the way, I got to interrupt you, not because I'm watching a commercial. Page Cognetti, it's Page Against the Machine is the commercial. I threw up in my mouth. I did, and I just wanted.
No,
I didn't want to.
I understand.
Oh my God! Yeah, I took $15,000 in campaign contributions and bought a $2 million building the taxpayers didn't need and the city didn't need. Yeah, I'm against the old boy network. Wow,
it's,
sickening.
Another example of Mr. Bresnahan too, of him being aggressive to call things out because there's so much there, But it's I brought that up because what I heard on the show from 2 individuals, and we know what side they come from. That's fine.
They're lunatics. Yeah.
I'm not coming. Well, what I'm saying is when the comment is made, hey, people are tired of this and somebody needs a fighter, and yet we can't even, use the power we have to try to call the governor out and do exactly what you're saying people want done. It just exposes this whole fraudulent, and I don't even know what to call it, cynicism, this whole empty suit Democrat Party.
Yep.
And how they approach everything. Everything is
he's a total fraud, and the morning show won't call him out because they like him and they're Democrats. So if you're Democrats, dummycrats, you don't call out the truth. Josh Shapiro, he was all in at Dave McCormick's conference for energy and technology until there's some pressure up here in Northeast PA against the data centers, and then he vanished, and now he wants to look into it. Phony disgrace. Hey, we got to take a break. Bob Cordaro, WILK. We'll be back, the Bloomberg Money Minute in the middle there, and then my man Joe from Plains letting us know where he's at with this anti-lunacy petition down in Luzerne County. Tommy James. Murph says this was his first solo hit. Dragging the line, it moved from number 14 to number 8. I guess that's post Shondells on July 17th, 1971. How about that? Joe from Plains is on the blower. He is out with his petition today, and I thank you every day for fighting for what's right, Joe.
And thank you, Bob, for everything you do to help us out. Good morning, and just wanted to let everybody know that I'm down here in Shikshini this morning in front of Thomas's Market. I'm on my way down to Berwick. They have a World War II festival this afternoon starting around 2 o'clock. And I
Where is that? Is that
work
at
my
the
way
tank
down.
factory?
It's right near there, yes.
Okay, neat.
And there should be a lot of Patriots down there, but I've been running into a lot of Patriots in Shikshini this morning so far.
I believe
and,
that.
The people, it's amazing how I've never seen anything like it, where they seek us out.
And Joe,
sign the petition.
it makes so much sense. These Luzerne County Council members, the 7 of them, they actually want to control your thoughts and your actions as
Right.
Luzerne County Council members. They're completely insane left-wing lunatics.
Yeah, I don't know what planet they came out of, but it's never been done like this before. They want to control what you say, what you think, and there's a lot of us out. There's over 100 of us with petitions out here that, feel that they really overstepped their bounds this time, and we're not going to let them do it. Not this time, and not next time either.
Love it, Joe. Thank you once again. You're at Thomas's.
I'm at Thomas's. I'll be at the
In
Berwick
Shikshini.
Festival. And Sunday I'm going to be at the Tough Tex Plaza in Plains on River Road. Anybody down that way who's looking for a place to sign, I'll be there.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you for doing this.
Bob.
I truly mean that on behalf of everybody.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, man. You've got to read this ordinance. They want to control what you think, how you speak. I guarantee it's unconstitutional. It is beyond their power. But this is an expression of today's Democrat. This is what I'm telling you about the Democrat Party today. You may say, well, I met Paige Cognetti. She's nice. I've heard that. All right. Well, do you live in Scranton? Do you notice the incompetence? And then I lay it out. Then I said, do you know she paid $2 million for a building, rewarding contributors, big contributors of hers, and she's not independent. She answers to her donors. Do you know that the Soros family gave her the max contribution? Do you know that they spent $10 million, left-wing lunatic groups from out of town, $10 million on her campaign already? Do you know that the vast majority of her contributions are from not only outside of Scranton, outside of the district, they're not even in Pennsylvania. By the way, somebody sent in, not somebody, Rich sent me, letter to the editor. Somebody finally answered. A township commissioner. It says, the right to keep and bear arms is one of the clearest and most important protections in the United States Constitution. It protects the right of law-abiding citizens to defend themselves, their families, and their homes. That's why Paige Cognetti's comments on gun ownership and law enforcement are so concerning. And here's what they are. Japan, as our model for gun policy, take the guns away from the cops. By the way, that's the funny part. It goes without saying she's going to take your guns away. They don't even have to mention it. She does. She wants to take the guns away from the cops. Thank you, Rich. Insanity. Yeah. She's in on everything insane that the Democrat Party, the Communist Party proposes. Everything. Please don't think about it. And then worse, she's corrupt. Totally corrupt. Giving $2 million to her big donors. $2 million of our tax dollars for a white elephant that they didn't want, they didn't need, took it off the tax rolls, plunked down our money. And by the way, I'm telling you, City Council, you want to do your job, Scranton City Council? Rescind the sale. You have the right to do it. You have the ability to do it. Rescind the sale. It's insane. All right, 10:01 on my Cordaro Jewelers watch. We'll take this break. We'll be back. It's the Bob Cordaro Show. You know it does, baby. They ain't going away. They're trying to destroy the country, and they're not going away. Great good morning, everyone. It's 10:07 a.m. on my Bacardo Jewelers watch. This beautiful Friday, July 17, year of our Lord 2026, here in the great Northeast, and I suspect elsewhere. This is the Bob Cordaro Show. I am he, and it's a big day to fight for America, defend our values, and honor, with the help of our man John Basiliga and his great Basiliga Hospitality Group, the brave who have made us and kept us free. People like veterans we've lost this year, but celebrate today thanks to John, like Edward Maddox of Dunmore, Mike Mikowski of Pringle, Walter Gambita of Simpson, Paul King of Dixon City, and Ronald Zaladonis of Hanover Township. So with history, our amazing founding fathers, and the incomparable Constitution of the United States of America as our guides, let us continue today's battle. Gaveling back to order today's meeting of the Club for Common Sense, promising you that our commitment to common sense will indeed be unalterable. It's deep. And our commitment to common sense will provide a sanctuary of sanity to all of you who hearken here. Amazing. Hey, let's go quickly. We got David DeCosmo coming up on two historical events, and I want to get to him about that. But let's go to Patrick from Scranton regarding the novena starting today, the St. Anne's Novena. Thank you so much for reminding me of it, Patrick.
Oh, of course. Thanks, Bob. I just wanted to share with you and your listeners that the novena at St. Anne's in West Scranton starts today. It goes all the way until next Sunday, the 26th, which is the feast of Saints Joachim and Anne.
My daughter's named after St. Anne. Also,
Is that right?
My grandmother, she was born on the 27th, but obviously we were rushing to the hospital on the 26th, so we named her Anna. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah,
well, I prayed to St. Anne in prison every day. Every day.
Well, she's the reason you got out.
Amen. And so this novena is one of the most beautiful things. My gosh, it's beautiful.
Yeah. Well, more than that, for this area, there's a special significance. St. Anne is the patron saint of coal miners.
Yes.
And I don't know if you ever heard of the story. There was a mine subsistence right underneath the church in the 1920s when it was first built, which the patrons of St. Anne prayed to St. Anne to save the building from collapsing into the subsisting mine. And to this day, there are two boulders that rolled into place underneath the church, which is the reason the church is still standing today.
Oh, my gosh. I did not know that. Holy cow.
You never heard that story before?
No. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, triple good reason for you to call today, Patrick. I appreciate it.
Well, thanks for taking my call.
And thank you for reminding us St. Anne starting today up in West Scranton. Get there. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Patrick. We mentioned David DeCosmo. He reminds me when something historic has happened that has area connections. And I heard on the morning news today that it was the anniversary of that tragic TWA Flight 800 crash, and it's on our history today. And there were students from Montoursville High School. And on top of that, July 18th, the Kennedy-Kopechne automobile crash, where Kennedy basically left her to die, Ted Kennedy. And here he is, theme song and all. What is it? The March of the Cue Balls. Henry Mancini. That means David DeCosmo's with us. Thank you for reacting so quickly, David. How are you?
Well, I'm doing fine, Bob. Getting a little work done at the house here, so we may have a bit of hammering or sawing in the background.
Oh, it'll make it seem more real. Don't you worry about that.
Well, absolutely. Two events that are within a day apiece in terms of date in July. It was on this day in 1996 when Flight TWA 800 went down just off the coast of Long Island. 230 people were killed in that crash. 212 were passengers. It was the third deadliest U.S. Aviation crash. And the tie-in with our area comes from the fact that we had 21 people, including 17 students, members of a French club from Montoursville High School, that were going to France and died when that plane went down. And I got to tell you, Bob, in all honesty, this was the toughest story I ever covered. And the reason I say that is that I was sent to Montoursville throughout the ordeal, the news hitting, the reality setting in, then the funerals, memorial services. And there were people who wanted to talk to us as newsmen, that wanted to talk about these kids and their chaperones. There were others who looked at us as vultures and let us know it. And that was tough because, I didn't want to be there. This was something I was assigned to do, and it was obviously a story that everybody wanted to know about. As a matter of fact, Bob, this crash remains a controversy because the official the official investigation indicated that a short circuit in a central fuel tank caused the explosion that blew this plane out of the air. But from day one, there were, and I can only describe them as rumors because there's never been any solid, substantial evidence, but there were rumors that some sort of a missile was fired at this aircraft. And that controversy remains today because there are those who claimed that they saw something going at the plane. But
now David, I looked at that issue at that time, and I read novels and historical accounts of the accident, and it clearly seemed to be a wiring malfunction that just went horribly awry that day. Tragic.
Yeah, and given the time of year, given this being in July, it certainly is a possibility that somebody was firing off fireworks somewhere in the general vicinity, and that could very well have looked like something was going up. I mean, it wasn't the 4th of July, but let's face it, fireworks don't end on the 4th of July. Yeah. People shoot them off throughout the year, especially in July.
Well, now, David, there's another story that you mentioned to me, and it's July 18th. And I know we'll be able to follow up with you later this summer when you played a substantial role in that drama. But tell us about July 18th.
Well, in July 18th of 1969 was the evening that Massachusetts Senator Ted Kennedy was driving a car on Chappaquiddick Island in Massachusetts. His passenger was Mary Jo Kopechny originally from the Larksville area here in Luzerne County. His car went off of a small wooden bridge over a tidal pond. It went into the water. Kennedy was able to escape. He claims that he dove back down trying to extricate Miss Kopechny. He was unsuccessful. Left the scene, got a relation, a cousin, and a friend to come back to the area, and they supposedly dove down, again unsuccessful. He then went to the Chappaquiddick Ferry, which was closed for the night, a very short distance between Chappaquiddick and Martha's Vineyard, and he swam over, went to the hotel, slept the night, went to have breakfast with someone else when these two other companions finally said to him, "You got to report this."
Yeah.
And he reported it. A diver came to the scene, extricated her body. It was ruled a death by drowning. That's a very big debate. The diver that pulled the body out, said she was in an air pocket, probably lived for some time after that car was submerged. My involvement came later on. Eventually, the district attorney for the Southern District of Massachusetts tried to have her body exhumed to see whether or not there was anything more than drowning, or could they even substantiate that it was drowning, or was it just suffocation, or was there something criminal? They came to Luzerne County because she was buried here and asked to have the body exhumed. The parents opposed that, and part of the case involved playing a nationwide speech that Senator Kennedy had given, in which he tried to explain what had happened. And playing that interview was important to the district attorney from Massachusetts. They couldn't get it from television. I got it for them.
Yeah.
But consequently, I had to be called as a witness. So I was the last witness in that exhumation hearing.
And I mean, not to make light of the situation, David DeCosmo, but they might as well had Ralph Cramden give Ted Kennedy's explanation. Homina, homina, homina.
Well, it's interesting. I'll never forget the DA from Massachusetts, Edmund Denise, when he found out I had the tape. He said, and this is an exact quote, "You are my ninth inning home run," because he felt that would do it. It didn't. In the end, Judge Bernard Brominski, who was president judge at the time, ruled that there wasn't sufficient prima facie or basic evidence to suggest criminality. Consequently, the parental wishes were paramount, and the parents did not want the body exhumed.
David, by the way, every time I hear Bernard Brominski, I say to myself, did his parents know he was going to be a judge someday?
I don't know.
It flows so naturally. Judge Bernard Brominski. He's just perfect. He's central casting.
Bob, he was one of the finest jurists I've ever dealt with, to the extent that when there were various important hearings that were being covered by the news media, and of course cameras are not allowed in the courtrooms in Pennsylvania, unlike some other progressive states, he would have us come in before the proceedings actually started to get video of him on the bench, the prosecution and the defense, or the two litigants. And so we had something to show while we talked about what happened. But he was he was lauded for his handling of this particular exhumation hearing in terms of he met with the media beforehand and said, "Look, I have a job to do. You guys have deadlines. What are your deadlines? In as much as I can, I will schedule breaks during those times." And he did.
Yeah.
So it made it very easy for the media to have access to the proceedings.
Well, David, two big stories, Flight 800 and the tragedy of that crash, and then the tragedy of Mary Jo Kopechne dying in Chappaquiddick. We appreciate you bringing that to my attention and our attention. And when we get back to the when we get to the date of the hearing, I hope we could have you on again to go into detail on that.
Well, I try to do that. Two stories that really both leave some unanswered questions. So thanks for having me on, Bob. You have a great day. And as always, I hope all your news is good.
And David, I was just watching you this morning on Instagram, on your daily blog. I just watched you this morning, and I said, oh, good. We have David DeCosmo on. Love it.
Yes, I've asked them to set up a tariff to stop the Canadian smoke.
All right, David. Thank you, my friend. 10:21 on my Picardo Jewelers watch. We'll take a break. We'll be back. Neil Diamond. This date, 1976, Murph tells us he had his fourth #1 adult charts hit with If You Know What I Mean. And it reminds me, I forgot to tell you this. Cutie and I, was it Tuesday night? We watched Song Sung Blue. Did anybody see that movie? Unbelievable. Song Sung Blue. It's Hugh Jackman. I forget the actress's name, but she's awesome. It's Goldie Hawn's daughter. You guys will remember the name. Anyway, oh my God, what a tearjerker and just inspiring. It was fantastic. And it was sad, it was tragic, but it was a feel-good movie at the same time. Song Sung Blue. Please check it out. I really think you will enjoy it. And, yeah. In any event. Hey, just reminding myself, Trump's speech last night. Now, I thought it was unnecessary. Okay, I thought it's information that we had to know. You know, the Chinese were influencing with money our media, that they were trying to influence our elections, the Russians as well, but mostly the Chinese. But a guy named Jason Meister got sent to me by my gang at Club for Common Sense. It says, this is so true. If Kate Hudson, my brother Mike reminds me, Kate Hudson was in Song Sung Blue with Hugh Jackman. Just fabulous. I'm telling you, fabulous movie. Anyway, Jason Meister on X. He says, we just helped China carry out the largest theft of election data in U.S. history, have the CIA suppress the evidence, fund the creation of a man-made virus, conceal its origins, allow the Communist Chinese Party to pay journalists to write negative stories about the duly elected president of the United States, allow the Chinese Communist Party to create tens of thousands of mail-in ballots, abuse the FISA court, weaponize the justice system, rig primaries, attempt to remove Trump from state ballots, raid the private residence of a former president with deadly force, shut off surveillance cameras, fabricate evidence, gag, censor, ban voter ID, and flood the country with tens of millions of illegals, we could save democracy. That's your Democrats. That is them. I'm telling you, this is a sick, diseased party. And it's before November. Before November, it is imperative. It's too late to fix the Democrat Party for November because you have liars like Paige Cognetti pretending they're not communist and lying about Rob Bresnahan and Medicare cuts and all the bullspit. It actually makes me sick. But here it is. And thank you, Jason Meister. You laid it out. Yeah, if we do all of this, we can save democracy. These are sick people. They don't hesitate to lie. By the way, a bunch of you told me about Kate Hudson and agree. Excellent movie. Wasn't it great? I'm telling you, real stuff. And fun and cute and man, it was really some kind of movie. I'm telling you, and so I'm a Hugh Jackman fan now. He was great. The whole movie. Song Sung Blue. All right. 10:30, I'm at Ricardo Jewelers Watch. Bob Cordaro, WILK, reminding you, you can catch this all on live stream. If you want to see my smiling moonbeam face, you will go to you'll go to YouTube. WILK Bob Cordaro Show. Roach Supply bringing that to you. Roach Supply, premier bath and kitchen supplier, Northeast Pennsylvania. 75 years in business, 95-year-old Ron Roach at the helm. 3 generations working side by side, taking care of people in the most expensive rooms in the house. The most important rooms, many would say. Visit roachsupply.com today to find out more, ROCHE. Or you could even stop in at Chapman Supply. They own that too in South Abington Township. All right, we'll be back. Our Veterans Tribute this hour, as with every hour, and this day as with every day, brought to you by John Basiliga, a patriot, a warrior for America, and one of our greatest developers. And on Friday, we look at Basiliga Hospitality Group because it's the weekend and these places are outstanding. Fine dining this weekend. And you can check them out at happy hour. They're very reasonable. I need reasonable, just like most of you. The Stegmeyer Mansion, downtown Wilkes-Barre. An old world take on a fantastic, one-of-a-kind dining experience. And a Terra 519 with the new menu, the new chef, the whole package. I was there last weekend. Downtown Scranton. Awesome. And Sergey's Live, the nightclub. It'll be hopping. Yacht Rock tonight. My kind of crowd. The young kids come in at 10 and I shuffle out. That's fine. That guys should be going home anyway, right? Oh, Sergey's will be great tonight. Walter Gambita. We lost him July 6th. He was 78 years old. He was from Simpson. Born in Peckville and raised in Simpson. He attended Fell High School. He served all of us in the Pennsylvania Army National Guard. He worked with a number of companies as a carpenter. For many years, he was also a caregiver to his mom and his youngest brother. He enjoyed hunting, fishing, and making wine. He's survived by his 3 children, all of them local, their spouses, 2 granddaughters, 4 brothers and their wives. Preceded in death by 3 other brothers. Walter Gambita. Paul King. He was 89. He was from Dixon City. We lost him June 28th. Preceded in death by his first wife, Anne Marie Umile King. He lost her in 1997. His second wife passed just April 23rd of this year, Sharon Chandler Keeler King. Paul King was born in Scranton, a faithful member of St. Carlo Acutis Parish at St. Patrick's Church, Oliphant. He was a graduate of Oliphant High School, and he served all of us in the United States Army. He was employed by Golo Footwear, Dunmore, and retired as a supervisor at Specialty Records, Oliphant. Paul was a loving husband to his wives. He played football in high school. He was an avid sports fan. He loved hunting, golfing. He loved his Yankees. He loved his Giants. He'll be deeply missed by his family and friends. Paul King. Our great veterans this hour, brought to you by John Basiliga and his Basiliga Hospitality Group. Oh, that sound means the weather. See, I'm like a trained seal here. Maybe a little, a trained seal would be about right. I hear these sounds and then I just jump to that. And that sound means the AccuWeather forecast brought to you by the gang at Montage Mountain. They've got the water park in full swing. If there was ever a water park week, this is it. Today, hazy sunshine, very warm, high 87. And don't be angry at me. And all their cautionary tales from AccuWeather, I'm not giving them to you, okay? You know what to do when the weather gets warm. Tonight, couple of showers late, low 64. Tomorrow, cloudy, not as warm, couple of showers and a thunderstorm. But they tell us that the downpours may improve air quality. But didn't we already know that? High 77 on Saturday, as Cutie says, low 66. Sunday, best day of the weekend, mostly sunny, less humid, high 80, low 54. Monday, mostly sunny, 83, low 63. Tuesday, shifting clouds and sun with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm. Humid, 77 degrees, low 65. This is the week to take the grandkids, take the nieces and nephews, take your kids to Montage Mountain because the water park is great. 75 degrees at Montage right now. What does a train? All right. When you hear that song, what would a trained SEAL do? Well, he would say that Tina Morocco in the house. She's a global sales advisor at Sotheby's International, Naples, Florida. You can reach her at Sotheby's in Naples or go right to the source, Tina Morocco, Muracco. That's at tinamorocco.com or any social media, and she'll take care of you and get back to you. She is your trusted guide to Florida real estate, specializing in Southwest Florida. And here she is. My God, we did Tina Morocco. We did manatees. What was the other day? The other day.
We were doing pythons the other day.
Yeah, we did pythons the other day. We're getting the whole package here. I love it. What do you got for us today?
Well, I'm going to skip the animals today.
All right.
So I just got to Pennsylvania. I just got to Scranton, and I'm noticing a lot of businesses are doing Christmas in July.
Uh-huh.
And that made me think about some of the conversations I have with people, that are thinking about moving to Florida or that thinking about visiting Florida over the holiday season and saying, gosh, I can't imagine what it's like in Florida. I really miss all the Christmas stuff up north. Absolutely not. I mean, we do Christmas in Naples and Southwest Florida. It is absolutely over the top. And we start decorating around, Halloween, like everybody else, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have Christmas parades. We have Christmas walks in our design districts where the shops and restaurants and boutiques are all open and they have cocktails and, just kind of showing off their wares for Christmas. We have Christmas boat parades. We have those in Fort Myers and Naples and Marco Island where the boats are completely decorated in holiday style. And then we have all of our palm trees are wrapped in, Christmas lights and everything. And, we have Christmas parades all holiday season. So it's just kind of over the top. But what I want to talk about is there is one neighborhood in Naples that's really, really famous for Christmas, and that's Victoria Park. And to live in Victoria Park, you have to agree to participate in the Christmas decor. It is mandatory.
Oh, that's neat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's a small community. It's about, when I say small, it's about 350 homes, single-family homes. These are homes built in the 70s and 80s, and this tradition really started around then. We're decorating. They started, I think, putting like candles out front, and now it is just over the top. Each street has a theme, and like starting at the beginning of December, there are, it's just lines and lines of cars going back and forth looking at these awesome houses.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, those competitions on HGTV. It's kind of like that.
How neat. Well, it's
yeah.
funny. As you're talking about these things, I'm thinking to myself, we know it can be an expensive area to live in, Southwest Florida, but there's so much to do that's free and fun in that area that it really does negate. Like, you don't have to have a ton of money to go check out these decorations and all that.
No.
You could be just a regular person, and there's always something to do for free, always something to see for free.
Yeah, the Christmas parades are free. The boat parades are free. The walks, the design district walk, Christmas walks are free. It's just, you can really get in the holiday spirit in Southwest Florida and, in December and January.
By the way, you know what else, Tina Morocco, it touches on? It touches on something that you had a theme, how people get to know each other. You go down there not knowing anybody. All of these things bring people together and allow you to make friends and acquaintances and feel familiar with the area. Yeah.
Well, that's a great point, Bob. And I think that's a great thing. A lot of people don't know what to do, or don't know things that are going on, even though they're on Instagram or Facebook. And it's nice when you're talking to your neighbors, hey, do you want to go down to the design district walk with me? And people are always like, what's that? I never even heard of that. What's that? So it's just a fun, fun way to get people together.
Well, that's neat. So,
Mhm.
so Christmas in July. Well, we got Christmas in December in Naples in Southwest Florida.
Mhm.
We love it, Tina. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
And it's
Yep.
great to have you here in Pennsylvania. We love
Oh
it.
yeah. Thanks,
You
Bob.
can't be dealing with all that beautiful area and perfect weather constantly. Come on up
No,
here
I
and
need a break.
yeah, get in the soup with the rest of us. Tina Morocco. She is a global sales advisor at Sotheby's in Naples. And you can reach her at Sotheby's in Naples, Florida, or
Mhm.
at Tina Morocco, Muracco, TinaMorocco.com, or Tina Morocco on any social media. Tina, thank you.
Absolutely.
Now,
Talk to you
you brought the non-hazy sunshine to the program. Thank you.
soon. You're
All
welcome.
right. 1044 on my Cordaro Jewelers watch. We'll be right back. One of our great listeners texts in, found some voter fraud info on Gateway Pundit you may be interested in. The clip follows. Well, I won't get the clip on this text, but Lehigh County, Pennsylvania announced that they were also investigating hundreds of fake ballot registrations that were turned in recently by a questionable voter registration group. Lancaster, Monroe, and York counties in Pennsylvania have reported similar criminal acts, and they are investigating. At least 2 counties reported that Field Plus Media Corps was behind thousands of fraudulent registrations. That ballot registration harvesting group is based in Arizona. Oh, they are actively trying to steal elections and steal votes. We found out about it, that Trump was right about Arizona, and he was right about Georgia. We found that out. We know it now. So I'm not trying to say Trump's speech and the points he was making are wrong. I am saying, however, I just didn't think it should have been elevated to a primetime speech, but whatever. That's stylistic and strategic dispute. He's 1,000% right. And the Democrat Party, the Communist Party, does not want honest elections. It's obvious. And it's also just as obvious why. Well, the sweep hand tells me we're headed to 10:50. That means Bloomberg Money Minute on my Bacardo's watch. All right, how many had tried to catch that high note? I know I did. Never quite made it, but I like that song. Murph tells us July 17, 1982, 38 special, moved into the top 10 charts at number 10 with Caught Up in You. By the way, Bulldog, did he say he's available? Bo Deedle coming up at 11:05. We're going to have some fun with Bo. He is after this disgusting New York mayor who is the model and actually has lent his campaign apparatus to Paige Cognetti for her lying race for Congress. By the way, here's what the Democrat Party, their new platform: abolish the presidency and the Supreme Court. They're not going to pack it. They're going to abolish it. Replace the Constitution. Abolish the police and prison systems. Slavery reparations. Trans surgeries for all. Abolish ICE and open the border. Government-run economy. Mark Mayer sent me that. That is their platform. That's the platform. That's the Democrat Party of today. It's absolutely insane. And by the way, I would add an eighth point. Ignore voter fraud and ignore social spending, government spending fraud. Ignore both. Somebody texts in, and timing is appropriate. Bob, it's now Baltimore, Joe Biden. Ghetto kid from the streets of Baltimore. Give me a break. Scam artist Biden, tear down the stolen valor Biden banner. I can't help but laugh at the insanity. Baltimore Joey Biden. He ain't from Scranton. And you put up a banner like asses to Joe Biden. So it's lie number one that he's a hometown hero. He's not. He's from Baltimore. That's his words, not mine. Lie number two, he's a veteran. No, he's not. That's lie number two. How much more do you need to take the stolen valor Joe Biden banner down, Green Ridge Neighborhood Association? You're a disgrace. Biden banner. Stolen valor disgrace. Day 216. Baltimore Joe Biden. Unbelievable. Oh. Somebody says, meanwhile, here in Luzerne County, the Socialist Party is testing the validity of the signatures on the referendum after they were guilty of a paper shortage and loss of ballots. Connivers. Yep. They're all the same. They're all the same. And when it benefits the establishment to go along with this, whether it's Washington, Harrisburg, or sadly Scranton, PA, they jump right on. And now their new allies are the Islamist lunatics. And I say Islamist, I don't say Muslim. Please remember that. The Islamist lunatics know, and we've had the clerics on, multiple clerics on, played the clips. They know that the Democrats have no morals. They have no values, today's Democrat Party. And we could use them to advance our Islamist conquering of America. And those are the teams. So we've got communists, lunatics, freaks, combining with the Islamists who hate them worse than they hate us. At least they respect us, to try to take over this country and destroy it. Somebody texts in, Baltimore Joe Biden, send the Biden highway and street signs to Baltimore, Maryland. Yeah, that's where he's from. That's what he says. Why not do it in his own words? You're fools, Green Ridge Neighborhood Association. You're asses. You're disgusting, disgraceful. Do the right thing and take the damn banner down. Sad and idiotic. All at the same time. All for their precious little dummy-crat egos. See, on my side of the fence, we admit if we make a mistake. No problem. Oh, we'll fight you on it, but when we discover in bas relief that we are wrong, we admit it and move on. 11 o'clock on my Bacardo Jewelers watch. That means it's time for the news. And then our man, please. Then our man, Bo Dietl, when we come back. Oh, the war goes on. You know it, baby. Great good morning, everyone. 11:06 a.m. on my Picardo Jewelers watch. This beautiful Friday, July 17, year of our Lord 2026 here in the great Northeast and a few other places. This is the Bob Cordaro Show. I am he. And it's a big day to fight for America, defend our values, and honor with the help of our man, John Basiliga, and his great Basiliga hospitality group, the brave, who have made us and kept us free. People like veterans we've lost this year, but celebrate today, thanks to John. Like Paul King, Dixon City, Walter Gambita, Simpson, Edward Maddox, Dunmore, Mike Mikowski, Pringle, and Ronald Zaladonis, Hanover Township. So with history, our amazing founding fathers, who we will not allow to be canceled, and the incomparable Constitution of the United States of America as our guides, let us continue today's battle, gaveling back to order today's meeting of the Club for Common Sense, promising you that our deep and unalterable commitment to common sense will provide a sanctuary of sanity to all of you who hearken here. That is Bo Dietl in Wolf of Wall Street. Oh, we love him, we love him, we love him. But we're going to talk about something else other than his storied movie and TV career. And here he is, our man Bo Dietl. How are you, Bo?
I feel like I'm in the freaking Alamo. I feel as though I'm surrounded by, what was that guy's name from Mexico there?
Santa Ana.
Santa Ana, and I'm Davy Crockett, but I'm out of bullets, and I'm punching these, and they're not democratic socialists. That is a bullcrap name. They are communists.
Yep.
They do not want to use the name communism because they're communists. It's illegal in this country. So they come up with this DSA bullcrap. And now we're seeing it in New York. I'm fighting this guy, Mondami. New York is destroyed. You could go for 10 blocks on the west side. You look at an encampment, homeless encampment, just like they destroyed L.A. and San Francisco. And then when you watch the newsreel of this Mayor Mondami with all these other critters around him, it looks like they dug him out of the Night of the Living Dead. These are all the liberal left communists he brings out there. And just look at them. They look like they're very mentally challenged in many, many ways. And I've got to tell you something right now. He just sat down and he had dinner with the prisoners. The one he was sitting next to strangled his girlfriend, killed her, strangled her to death, and he's having come by a time. Now he's telling them, oh, you'll be out of here soon. He wants to get rid of Rikers Island and load all these prisoners out. On top of it, he's got this going on. New York State now is up to $69 billion with Medicare. 40% is fraud. And that other idiot, the Letitia James Attorney General, she refuses to investigate. All they want to do, the communists, a giveaway, promise. Now they're going after the landlord. $11 billion of people moved out of New York, tax-paying people. The top earners, and I'm one of them, we pay 1% of the top earners pay 45% of the taxes in New York. He don't want to hire new cops. He got rid of the recruit classes. He hates cops. He don't want them around. He wants it to be free. Now they want to get rid of the presidency and the Senate. They want a communist country. Where is the level-headed Democrats? This ain't a Republican Democratic thing. You Democrats with a half a brain, don't you see where we're going? Just go to Europe. I just come back from there. Paris, London, Rome, Milan, they've taken over there. These illegal migrants, most of them Muslim fanatics, and they want to get rid of government, and they want to get rid of society as we know. Democratic society, they don't want. They want communism.
Bo Dietl, does Bruce Blakemore stand a chance? Because that's the only saving grace for New York State and New York City is if he can get elected.
Well, I don't know about Bruce Blakemore, but Bruce Blakeman. Come on,
Blakeman.
Blakeman, stop it. All right, so Bruce Blakeman, look, they say he can't be elected. I say if we bring out the facts of where we're going, because there's no more of a Democratic Party. What it is she curtails. Snaggletooth Hochul, this governor, rubber stamp, whatever Mondami tells her, she does. She's so afraid of him, she'll do whatever she tells.
Yeah.
If he can really bring it out, I think there's a sleeping majority of good Democrats with common sense, like you speak, that are saying to themselves, wait a second, we are going down the path to communism here. So let's stop the train right now. Where are the common sense Democrats? In New York City, the 7% of the voting population just voted in the primary, Democratic primary.
Yeah.
All three DSA candidates won the regular Democrats, but only 7%. And you know who the people who voted were? Not blacks, Hispanics, not what you think. White little punk teens and little 20-something white little boys and girls that got mommy spoon in their mouth. Now they're hearing about free this, free that, and this is where they go. They believe this BS. Go to Cuba. I went to Cuba a few years ago. People ain't got no food. Doctors, lawyers, they're all hookers, the women there, because they can't make any money. They got nothing going on. Go to any democratic country. Go over there to Venezuela, one of the richest countries in the world, and they put it into the toilet bowl with communism. There's a Democrat, Republican. This is communism, and America, this great country, and we've got to get the people to awake. The people, the Democrats. I implore the Democrats across this country to vote and get rid of this DSA, because all DSA, Democratic Socialist America, has one thing: to take us down.
Bo, one thing I say consistently on my show, we're talking to Bo Dietl, the head of Bo Dietl Investigations and the former highly decorated New York City cop. Bo, one of the things I say, you got Chuck Schumer and all these fools. I said they make the bar at Star Wars look cool, but I don't know the policy differences between today's Democrat Party leadership and the communist. It's the same, ideology, same agenda.
And every one of his people around him are these fools. You gotta remember, this little punk Mondami, the mayor of New York, he only became a citizen 8 years ago. Unreal. He was in Uganda, where they eat people, Uganda. And in Africa, people, don't you know what's going on in Africa? They killed 20,000 Christians last month. They're beheading them, children, women. No one gives a hell about it. What if there were Muslims being killed? Oh, everybody would be, oh my God. Well, or even the Palestinians being killed. These are Christians being executed in Africa, and no one says a damn thing about them. And you know what it is? It's the communist playbook. They want to disrupt, take down, take the police away, let the streets run with violence, and then they want to get the criminal element to be their enforcers.
Yeah.
I think they did that in Nazi Germany. That little corporate prick there, Adolf Hitler, he said the right words to him, and they all walked down the aisle with him. I have Jewish friends that were in the Holocaust, and they all believed in this piece of garbage, the same as they believe in Mondami. And then when it's too late, they go, oh, my God, how did we let it happen?
Yeah.
It's happening before our eyes. I'm fighting, Bobby. I'm fighting my last breath. You could go to Instagram, put Bo Dietl in there. Every day from behind my desk, I go after this little son of a gun, this little mundummy. He's a piece of garbage. Now that smile, I hate that
so
smile.
fake. Bo Dietl is our guest, and I follow Bo Dietl on and his podcast on Instagram. It's fabulous. It's fun, and you get all the juice that Bo gives you. Get you fired up. Now, here's the problem, though, Bo. Normal people, good people, and this is the second part of the communist plot. They tell people, there's no difference. They're all the same. No reason to go out and vote. They discourage, and the vote total are so low, and the turnout is so low that they can win by the discouragement of the normal voting public.
Bobby, you're hitting the nail on the head. 7% of the voting population that could vote elected these three Congress DSA communists in the list. 7% of the total voting population. So they are very slick. They know how to pull them out. And I tell you right now, I'll say it. They don't like you to say it. And they cheat. I ran for mayor. I know about the board election. They cheat. And the Democratic Party now has been taken over by this DSA, which is in disguise, is the Communist Party. And that's the fact. And when people don't understand it, I'm 75 years old. I'm seeing it before my eyes. And in New York City, you've got these motorcycles, motorbikes. The mayor says, leave them alone. Now, all of a sudden, there's an influx. I was told from good sources, there are between 30 and 40 million illegals in this country, non-documented illegals. Now, all of a sudden, I see a big influx. You go to Manhattan, everywhere around. Now, I'm not against black people. These are real black people from Africa, and they can't speak English, and they've gotten to our southern border, and they've infested. They're on every one of these bicycle delivery food things. Nobody speaks English, no license, no nothing, and now they just came into our city. You see them all over. Who are they? We don't even know who the hell they are. They commit a murder. How do you find them when you don't know who they are?
Bo Dietl, we just had a great Pennsylvania state policeman here in Northeast PA get mowed down by an illegal alien who could not speak English but got a trucker's license from Massachusetts. There's real hurt and real damage being done by the communist policy of the open border, just as you described in New York City.
Well, the thing is this, the real facts are we have no idea with the gotaways, disaways. You know what? I really believe, and it's not a low number, every bit of 30 million undocumented illegal people in this country. 30 million. Then you look at your Medicare. You look at the Medicare fraud. You look at this. All they got to do is come here, and they get free housing. That's what it's scumbag mayor of Mandami wants to build more housing, spend another $2.5 billion housing for illegals, not for people that are homeless, that have been American citizens. These are illegals, and he keeps going, and that's smart. And then he goes to the jail, and he wants to get rid of Rikers and release all the prisoners. He don't believe in prisons. Now they're talking about they don't believe in the presidency or the Senate.
Yep.
They want communism.
New York State is now spending more, and that's from my friend Mark Mayer. They're spending more on Medicaid than schools, and they pay more per person than anywhere in the U.S.
Okay, hold on a second. We're talking about total Medicare spending in New York in 2025 is $106 billion. It's 47% of the budget. Hold on. Now education is 23%. My problem here is even with the education, which is $44 billion, these kids come out, they can't read and write, and then you have a chancellor who's under investigation for the position. He's the chancellor on taking bribes for no bid contract. And then I saw the other night the real culprit, Eric Adams. He was at Casa Cipriani. He comes over, hi, Bo. I got nothing to say. I thought you went to Albania. This kid being locked up. And he didn't smile, but he's been trying to meet with me. I thought, there's no reason for you to meet with me. You destroyed my city because of your corruption with you and your people around you. You should have stuck for the mayor, and we wouldn't have this damn commie in there.
Unbelievable. Well, Bo, you keep fighting the fight. We love
Oh.
you. We know you're a lonely voice, but you're a strong voice for all of us.
Well, all I can say to your listeners, pass the word and listen. You want to see what I got to say? All you got to go on the Instagram, Bo Dietl. You'll see a lot of things. And I come out from behind my desk almost every day. I come out with an issue that have facts and figures. And my podcast, Bo Dietl's One Tough Podcast. Listen up, but the most important thing is get to your Democratic friends. Get to them. Let them understand it's not the Democratic Party like we knew it. It's being overtaken and kidnapped by the Communist Party in the forecast of this DSA, Democratic Socialist America. Is that what we want in America for our children and our grandchildren? I'm looking at my flag right now. I'm at a house in the Hamptons. Yeah, I worked hard. And I own this friggin' house, and I pay 53% taxes in the city. And I'm looking at the American flag waving right now. I got a 50-foot pole with a big American flag, and I'm looking at that, and I'm saying to myself, I love this country for all those veterans that died and the disabled fighting for this country. Now you got a scumbag been here 8 years from Uganda. Is the mayor of the greatest city in the world. Something is wrong. My Democratic friends, please wake up, please.
Bo, thank you so much. We love you. Keep coming on and keep fighting, my man. Stay strong. Stay
Bobby,
safe.
I'll talk to you, buddy.
All right. Our man, Bo Dietl. We'll take a break. It's the Bob Cordaro Show. This date, 1995, Murph tells us Collective Soul had the number 3 hit with December. Bob Cordaro back with you on the program, the eponymous program. July 17, Mother Teresa, Saint Teresa. Do not wait for leaders. Do it alone, person to person, today. I think that could apply to the Democrats, the good Democrats that I'm talking to right now as well. Do not wait for leaders. Do it alone, person to person, today. Saint Teresa, Mother Teresa, for July 17th. Thank you, Mary Regina. That's always important. Always awesome. Somebody texted in, what in God's name is on the radio right now? LOL, this guy's going to blow a gasket. Somebody else texted in, this guy's going to stroke out soon. Laugh out loud, you better calm him down. There's no calming Bo Needle down. He's fighting for us. And he's fighting right in the heart of the beast in New York City. Someone else texts in, I'll bet good money at this point Greenridge is just keeping the banner up just so they can hear you talk about it every day. Well, if that's what they want, that's what they're going to get. We're not going away until they take that sickening banner for Baltimore Joe Biden down. You hear him say, well, I'm from Scranton, but, we've got family roots in Baltimore. No. Anywhere we live, we said we're from Baltimore. The clown, they had to tell him, the Democrat Party, the higher-ups in the Democrat Party, they didn't tell Joe Biden. They went to the publishers of Joe Biden's book and said, do not release it. God forbid. Don't release it before the midterms. Because the Bidens ain't going away, the sickening, corrupt, disgraceful people. White trash. I'll go to every trailer park in this area. You people have, or some people have I'm not blaming you guys. Yeah, I won't say you people. Many people have this false image of people who live in trailers. No, I'll show you white trash. The Biden family. And I can go through the whole package, by the way. Somebody else texts in, Song Sung Blue, bought the movie on Amazon Prime. Great movie, isn't it? Great movie. All right. 11:32 on my Picardo Jewelers watch. So we've got to hear from our great sponsors, who we love, who bring all this to you. Then we'll come back. We've got a Veterans Tribute, the weather, and you, if you choose, 570-883-0098 to call or to text. our tribute to our great veterans. That's brought to you every hour, dutifully, proudly, patriotically, by our man John Basiliga and his great Basiliga Hospitality Group. We talked about fine dining at Stegmeyer Mansion and Atera 519 last hour. Well, let's talk about some great bar restaurants you're going to love. I go to them all and love them. The Far Street Tavern, the reimagined Colorasi's on Far Street in the Great Trips Park section of West Scranton. We were there Tuesday night for Brother Ron's birthday. Fabulous. The Old Brook Inn, 307 Springbrook Township. Fabulous. The Queen City Tavern, where I'm going to meet up with my man Wayne very soon. Downtown Oliphant, right on the main drag. Coming soon, Coney Island Lunch. Greatest hot dogs and Texas cheeseburgers you'll ever have. Lackawanna Avenue, downtown Scranton, accompanied by the ice cream shop named after his daughter, Reagan's Ice Cream Shop. Cannot wait. Ronald Zaladonis. We lost him at age 80, July 10th. His family said he fell asleep in the Lord and entered into eternal life. He was from Hanover Township. His loving wife, Mary Ann, was by his side. Born in Wilkes-Barre Township, graduate of Wilkes-Barre Township High School, class of 1963. He was an Army veteran, proudly serving during the Vietnam War. He received his bachelor's degree in education from Mansfield University, later received a master's degree in public administration from Shippensburg. He received his principal certification from Bucknell University. Ron was employed in education for many years. He served as guidance counselor, wrestling coach. He was then guidance counselor and principal in the Benton School District prior to retirement. Devoted and active member of St. Robert Bellarmine Parish at St. Aloysius Church in Wilkes-Barre. Wilkes-Barre Township American Legion, that was also another of his spots. Loved to work out at Odyssey Fitness in Wilkes-Barre. Survived by his loving wife of 52 years, Mary Ann DeRue Zaladonis. Uncles, aunts, brothers-in-laws, nephews, great-nephews, sisters-in-laws, and many, many other family members, including cousins. Ron Zaladonis, our great veteran, this hour, brought to you by John Basiliga and his Basiliga Hospitality Group. AccuWeather forecast brought to you by the great gang that's having fun already, by the way. I checked in up at Montage Mountain, the water park, full swing. Today, hazy sunshine, very warm. It'll get up to 87. Tonight, a couple of showers late, down to 64. Tomorrow, cloudy, not as warm. Couple of showers and a thunderstorm. 77 degrees Saturday, low 66. Sunday, mostly sunny, less humid. High 80, low 54. These are all great water park days, man. Monday, mostly sunny, high 83, low 63. Tuesday, shifting clouds and sun with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm. It'll be humid, 77 degrees, low 65. And that's your weather. Brought to you by the great gang at Montage Mountain, the water park in full swing. And it's 77 degrees at the mountain. That's the band with local ties, Breaking Benjamin. This date, 2006, Murph tells us they had the number 2 hit with The Diary of Jane. All right, now, guys, I'm going to ask you for this. I'm up in the air, okay? Because Murph has Survivor with Eye of the Tiger from Rocky III. And I am a huge Tom Jones fan. And that's the other one, What's New Pussycat? Both of them with significant dates, the date of July 17th, for those songs. So it's either Eye of the Tiger or What's New Pussycat to close it out today. We will play the other one, at least in part, but we'll play the full song. I may talk over it a little bit, but either Eye of the Tiger or What's New Pussycat, I said I'll throw it out to you guys. I couldn't make up my mind. Somebody, one of our great listeners says, please buy a beer for Wayne on me. Let me know what I owe you. All right. Yeah, we haven't heard from Wayne this week, so I got to get up there. That's where we're meeting. Chris from Scranton says, Bob, love to listen to your show. LTS back at you. Chris continues, I definitely agree Paige Cognetti is horrible. She needs to get out of Scranton. I'm a registered Democrat, but I lean very close to the center. My beliefs no longer what is true. Democrat beliefs were. What are your thoughts if Pennsylvania should go to open primaries where we are able to vote in the primary not based on party but as independents? No, I think you gotta pick your party. And I think you got to protest your party if they're doing the wrong thing, which the Democrats have become communists. And you're not one of them, so just vote against them. See, that's the most painful part for them. If we still turn out, especially you Democrats, and vote against them, they will change. The problem right now the Democrat Party has, and it's a big one, the Soros money, the Singham money, the Arabella Group money, the, Code Blue or whatever, Blue whatever, but the left-wing money that's financing the party and running ads for people like Paige Cognetti and millions of dollars worth of them, they're all America haters. And the Democrat leadership is following the America haters. Obviously, the DSA, the communists, they're following the haters. They're following the money, not you, not the normal Democrat, not the regular Democrat, not the Democrat Party of old. They see a chance to destroy America with all this left-wing lunacy, with Islamic fanaticism, with the Democrat socialists, the communists, and they're paying for it. That's why they're financing Paige Cognetti. So many people say, well, when's Rob going to start spending money? Well, he's spending what he has, but the left-wing money is so much more. That's why. By the way, Paige knows. She knows where her money's at. Give her $15,000, she'll give you $2 million. So they know she could be bought. They know she could be owned. And she's in on the whole left-wing agenda anyway. So that's why the Arabella Group, that's why the Soroses, all of them are contributing to her campaign. All of them are running ads for her against Rob Bresnahan. Remember who she's associated with. And by the way, you know how she's getting her money from out of state? By hiring Mamdani's campaign people. By hiring Graham Plattner's campaign people. Please remember that. She's all in on the insanity. Rich from West Scranton, he says, God, with this prayer request on first day of novena. Yep. Bob LTS, the Biden family can't understand why most of his old friends from Scranton, PA abandoned him. Joe Biden, no moral compass or convictions. Yes, he went from scrappy kid from Scranton, PA, to Baltimore Joe from the ghetto of the streets of Baltimore. Biden, what a disgrace and liar. All right, somebody says, go with Tom Jones. Speaking of pussycats, Paige Cognetti talks about getting the money out of politics, failing to mention she's taking millions from out of state. She's of the establishment Democrat Party today. Big money from out of state. And somebody corrects me. Act Blue. Thank you. Running those page ads from now till November is such a waste of money. Who are they going to influence? They're not going to change any conservatives' minds. They're just throwing money away. Oh, but that's all. They've got more money than Braves. The sad part, somebody texts in, these communist campaigns are being funded through nonprofits and NGOs using our tax dollars. Oh, yes, they are. Yes, they are. Soros just opens up an open borders society. He's got his own political run, but one hand knows the other. He has to give less money because Joe Biden gave the Open Borders Society money. So did California. So did New York State. No, this is a sick confluence. By the way, just something to touch on. It's important. Did you guys notice, and I'm looking at the sky, I'm not wearing a silver hat, a tinfoil hat. The smoke comes in, but it doesn't smell like smoke. It smells like chemicals. Am I right on this? Did anyone else have the same reaction? And my man Bob C. sent me something in. Why the wildlife smoke smells like chemicals? Because there's chemicals already in the air from them spraying. These are questions that have to be asked. And now, I get up this morning, I'm driving, JB pointed it out to me, so I notice it. I look at the sky, chemtrails all over the place. Soon as the smoke clears a little bit, I see chemtrails all over the place. This is just scary. I wish I could say fascinating, but it's happening to us if it's happening. Just keep your eyes out. You cannot trust this government, period. And I'm asking the questions. I'm not making the allegations. But why did the smoke smell like chemicals? I didn't even want to take the dog out yesterday. But I don't want to clean up dog crap in the inside. And he goes to the bathroom like a horse. So, we had to go out. Fascinating. Anyway, let's take a break. Bob Cordaro, WILK. We will return. Should have played that before Bo Dietl comes on. In fact, the Bulldog, we might have to make that Bo Dietl's theme song next time he comes on, all right? You try to remember that. I'll try to as well. Survivor. Murph tells us they moved up to number 3 with their Eye of the Tiger from the movie Rocky III, this date, 1982. All of the votes, and I mean all of them, were to finish with Tom Jones. I hate to talk over it, but I will if I have to. Hey, my man Mark Mayer sent me an article, and I read the whole thing during the commercial break. I didn't even do my push-ups. The Fall of Constantinople, a harbinger of civilizational collapse in the West. It's scary, and somebody says now, and he says in his article, nowadays as Muslim populations grow in Europe and institutions bend submissively to accommodate, Constantinople's fate whispers a dire prophecy. Will Europe heed the echo or repeat the tragedy in slow motion? And they point to 1453 when Constantinople fell. People forget Turkey. Constantinople was Turkey, a Muslim nation now. It was Christian. And it can happen. And never mind Europe. How about the United States? Europe may be lost. They really may be. Somebody texted in, LOL, notice they called Paige Cognetti the scrappy Scranton mayor. She's so scrappy. She takes $15,000 in campaign contributions and returns $2 million of our money to the same people. Yeah. Oh, Lord. Anyway, the great Duryea, this is Duryea, and they figure, yeah, we're getting the scraps. Yeah, they're scrappy. Somebody says, Bob, you're right on. Wednesday evening about 7 o'clock after work, I was watching the skies, and I told my wife 2 massive chemtrails overhead just opened up and spread throughout the sky. I watched them for a half an hour. This is real stuff. Another, hey, Bob, why can't they do controlled burns in Canada when the winds are coming up from the south so the smoke goes toward the North Pole? This is not the first time this happened, and winds came down from the U.S., into the U.S. And another person noticed we never had fire smoke from Canada until a few years ago. Now it's every year. I think there's hanky-panky going on because they follow left-wing insanity policies. And they won't clear cut. They won't have any forestry policy. I said it yesterday, just like California. And we're the victims of their left-wing lunacy. Quickly, Barbara from Courtdale. Barbara, we only got a couple seconds, but fire away.
Okay. They've been doing that chemtrails all night.
That's what it appears to me.
Yes.
Yep.
And they do. They say they don't. They're chemtrails. And I call Rob every other day and tell him. I call Dave McCormick, and they say, oh, no, those are chemtrails, C-O-M. And I said, no. And, you know, our rain checks, you know who can get rid of that?
Oh.
A good governor.
It is. Oh, the governor's stopping it. Guaranteed. Thank you, Barbara. Always a pleasure and great to hear from you, my dear. Well, we're finishing with Tom Jones because Murph tells us this date, 1965, he moved from number 17 to number 10 with his hit, What's New Pussycat? Yeah. I got to talk over it, guys, because we got to do the policeman's prayer from my man, Nicky DeSando. Lord, bless the ones who wear the badge, the ones who walk the beat, protect and keep them safe while they are on the street. As they wait and as they watch, doing good for all, guide their minds and give them strength for each and every call. Ready to put their lives on the line, give them courage each day. Let them know you're always there in each and every way. So bless the ones who wear the badge. Protect them from harm. Always keep them safe and in your loving arms. The policeman's prayer, and we need you guys this weekend. Stay safe. Tomorrow Never Comes by Norma Cornett Merrick. Found this in the great obituary for the great Doreen Goriab a few years back. And it just reminds us, reach out. Don't blow it off. Reach out to somebody maybe you didn't had a problem with. Maybe somebody who you haven't seen in a while just by circumstance. Because tomorrow never comes. If I knew it would be the last time I'd see you walk out the door, I'd give you a hug and kiss and call you back for just one more. If I knew it would be the last time, I would spare an extra minute or two to stop and say I love you instead of assuming you know I do. So just in case tomorrow never comes and today is all I get, I'd like to say how much I love you, and I hope we will never forget. Tomorrow isn't promised to anyone, young or old alike, and today may be the last chance you get to hold your loved one tight. So if you're waiting for tomorrow, why not do it today? For if tomorrow never comes, you'll surely regret the day that you didn't take that extra time for a smile, a hug, or a kiss, a call, a text. And you were too busy to grant someone what turned out to be their last wish. So hold your loved ones close today and whisper in their ear that you love them very much and you'll always hold them dear. Take time to say, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, or it's okay. And if tomorrow never comes, you'll have no regrets about today. My Bacardo's watch tells me it's 12:01, so that means I got to go. God willing, I'll be with you Monday morning at 9. But for now, we've got to gavel to a close today's meeting of the Club for Common Sense. Sue Henry show next. Rob O'Donnell show after that. Have a great weekend. Have a safe weekend. Have a loving weekend.